I'm going to present you a few examples of American landscapes. Let's visit the United States. It is a very big country. We will start in New York. And from there, we will go to Florida. Then we'll go to Louisiana, then to Texas, then to Arizona, then to Colorado, then to California, then to the Rocky Mountains, then to Alaska, then back to South Dakota, then to Wisconsin and the Middle West, and finally back to New York. Let's begin in New York. We can see the Statue of Liberty, on Liberty Island, in the Bay of New York. In the background, we can see the skyscrapers of New York. The Statue of Liberty was offered by France to the United States, to show the friendship between the two countries, and to celebrate the Declaration of Independence of the United States. Now let's go to Florida. Here we can see Miami and Miami South Beach. At the weekends, a lot of people come to the beach to bathe or to sunbathe. In Florida, there is a famous national park, the Everglades. It is a damp region, with a lot of wild animals, and in particular with alligators. In Cape Canaveral, there is the Kennedy Space Center. Here we can see the launch of the Space Shuttle Columbia. Now let's go to Louisiana. The bayous are a sort of forest where the trees are in the water. You can see that there is a lot of water. Now let's go to Texas. In Texas, the cowboys ride their horses to look after the cattle. Now let's go to Colorado. In Colorado we can see the Grand Canyon. At the bottom of Grand Canyon we can see the River Colorado. You can see an Indian chief at the top of Grand Canyon. Now let's go to Arizona. In the middle of the desert, we can see Monument Valley. It was made by the erosion. The Indians call it the Valley of Rocks. Now let's go to California. In California, the weather is fine, and there are a lot of beautiful beaches. In the Pacific Ocean, there are big waves. It is good for the surfers. The Golden Gate Bridge is a suspension bridge on the Bay of San Francisco. It is very long. It is more than 1 kilometer long. Now let's go to the Rocky Mountains. The Rocky Mountains are covered with snow, because they are very high. Now let's go to Alaska. In Alaska there is Mount McKinley. It is more than 6,000 meters high. It is the highest mountain in America. In Alaska, there are polar bears. They have a thick white fur to protect them from the cold. In the past people used to travel on the snow with sledges pulled by dogs. In the Arctic Ocean, there are killer whales. Now let's go to South Dakota. In South Dakota we can see Mount Rushmore National Memorial. In the mountain, you can see the faces of 4 presidents of the United States of America: George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Theodore Roosevelt and Abraham Lincoln. Now let's go to Wisconsin and the Middle West. The Middle West is an agricultural region. The farmers grow wheat in very big fields. Here you can see an army of combine harvesters cutting the wheat. Now our visit is finished, let's go back to New York. This is a photo of New York. In the middle you can see the Empire State Building, which is the tallest building in New York. Like the Statue of Liberty, the Empire State Building is also a symbol of America.